Welcome to our final class of the Momentum program. You made it. Congratulations on being here and all of the effort and changes you've made for yourself over the last 10 weeks. In our wrap up today, we're going to briefly discuss classes 1 through 9 and how to keep that momentum going for lifelong healthy practices. So doing a big overhaul of our diet and exercise can be overwhelming. So remembering your overall bigger vision and breaking that down into smaller goals you can work on over time until they become healthy habits can be most effective. We don't want to approach healthy eating and exercise as short term just for the sake of weight loss, but approaching it as making changes towards a new and healthier lifestyle and practice that we do most days for the rest of our life. So pick 1 to 2 goals at a time to work on changing. These should be goals that you would like to see yourself sustaining the rest of your life. For example, if you have struggled to eat fruits and vegetables in the past, then that would be a good goal to work on. If you are working on weight loss, improving nutrition and your relationship with food, building solid systems during this journey will help you move from a period of weight loss to maintenance. You will then have those solid systems in place and can maintain your new body weight while enjoying some balance and flexibility. So remember, there's no magic pill or quick fix for creating a healthier lifestyle. And there are many diets out there that provide some good information, but not always the best approach. Many diets can feel too restrictive, hard to do, and not fun. They may make us feel more stressed, guilty, or bad about ourselves if we can't stick with them or do them perfectly. We may also stop doing them after a while and go back to previous habits. Canned or pre-designed diets or menus can be guides for us for ideas of what foods to prepare, but they can also promote an all or nothing mindset and are not individualized. Changes are not easy. It takes practice and patience. We have to be determined, committed, and have self-efficacy to keep going. If you feel you struggle with having a positive relationship with food or need more individualized support and guidance, there are counselors, therapists, and dietitians here to support you. As you change old behaviors into new habits, it becomes easier over time. So remember how far you've come and think about where you want to go from here. So next up, we will review key takeaways from classes 1 through 9, and let's consider the things you may have implemented from each one along this momentum journey. While working on weight loss and healthful changes, we are not only transforming our physical body, but also our inner self. We are changing our mindset and being motivated to be healthier. So believe in yourself and work on goals and changes that work for you, based on your personal preferences, schedule, and life. By simply being here and participating to the final class of the Momentum program shows that you're already motivated to improve your health. So now it's up to you to continue with these goals and vision that you've set for yourself. Monitoring your weight may or may not be helpful in this weight loss journey. Some people can obsess over seeing the number on the scale go down each day, and if it doesn't, this can result in us feeling bad about ourselves. Know that weight loss is not a straight-lined process. If the scale isn't moving, it doesn't necessarily mean you're not making any progress. Remember, improving your diet and moving your body more is always progress, even if that scale doesn't tip quickly. So in week 1, we discussed how planting a seed and with water and sunlight, it takes time to grow and change. Your body and health are changing and improving, even if the scale isn't changing as quickly as you'd like. So give it time and keep working on healthy habits for your overall health and well-being. Weight can fluctuate day to day based on hormones, water, workouts, and other factors, so the scale is not always the best measure of success. Some other things to consider are, have your labs improved? Do you feel better, stronger, have more energy and confidence? Maybe you feel less stressed or your sleep has improved. So there are other measures of success for making healthy behavior changes. So track your weight if you choose, but don't let that number hold power over your self-worth or determination. In week 2, Balanced Nutrition, we discussed balancing our macronutrients, including all of the food groups and eating healthy and balanced meals and snacks. This may include having a breakfast with a protein, adding more non-starchy vegetables, and a healthy snack with at least 2 macronutrients. We can also apply the 90-10 rule. This helps us to stay on a healthy track most of the time while still enjoying the occasional treat without losing all of our progress. We also discussed considering portion sizes and the amount of food we're consuming, being in tune with our hunger and fullness cues, and eating until we feel comfortably full and satisfied without feeling overly full or uncomfortable. So slow down, enjoy your food, chew adequately, and be in tune with those fullness signals. Some other tips for balanced nutrition and managing our portion sizes include using smaller plates or bowls, serving smaller amounts to start and then going back for seconds if you still feel hungry, keeping food off of the table so you have to physically get up to get more. Also, after serving yourself, you can put away the food in the fridge, pre-portion foods like snacks, and not eat directly out of containers. Mindful and intuitive eating also include having a designated area where you eat at home or at work. Some other tips for helping satiety and fullness and keeping us sustained longer between meals and snacks include eating protein, choosing higher fiber foods and carbohydrates, being hydrated throughout the day, and including healthy fats. This also helps our blood sugar be better controlled, which can also help our appetite. So in week 3, Active Lifestyle, we discussed choosing activities that you personally enjoy and can be motivated by and devoted to. There are different types of exercise, including endurance, strength training, balance, and flexibility. And the best combination of exercise includes some type of cardio for our heart health, strength or resistance training to maintain our bone density, our muscle mass, balance, strength, and then adding in some stretching, yoga, or Pilates to maintain our flexibility. We naturally lose muscle and strength as we age, and so maintaining that is really important. Weight loss and building muscle take time, so be patient and consistent with your workout routine. If you've been inactive or sedentary for a while, start out slow and build from there. An example would be like walking 20 minutes 3 to 4 times per week, and then increasing that over time as it becomes easier. You can also add in some resistance training to your walking routine later. For our bodies to see changes, continue to build and challenge it. To do that, we can increase the intensity of our workout, the amount of time, or change up our workout altogether and try something new. So building on exercise over time is important. We don't want to push ourselves too quickly, as this can result in being too sore or causing injury. Know that some soreness is normal, but we don't want to have pain or cause injury. So remember, before starting a workout routine or exercise, consult with your doctor or practitioner and make sure that it's safe for you to do, especially if you have previous or current injuries or health conditions. For exercise to support weight loss, we want to work up to at least 300 minutes of exercise per week. And this breaks down to about 1 hour of activity 5 days per week. And within that, strength training is really key. So including some type of resistance training like free weights, machines, swimming, resistance bands, yoga or Pilates, or strength training within a group class like HIIT or CrossFit. And we can also have support or a gym pal or friend to work out with that can help motivate us. we know that we have to meet that person at the gym, so it helps hold us accountable. If you can't fit in a full workout into your schedule, remember all those bite-sized amounts of exercise throughout the day count and can add up. So these can be things like taking breaks at work and walking, using a standing desk, taking the stairs, parking further away, exercising or moving while we're watching a show or a movie, or if we're not participating in like an online meeting like Teams or Zoom, we're just listening, we can do some activity during that time too. A healthy diet and exercise can help with meeting our weight loss goals. But weight loss is only a part of the picture. Remember all of the benefits of exercise and moving our bodies more, and that includes helping our brain and our mood health, managing our stress, feeling stronger, sleeping better, and improving our labs and energy. Exercise also helps reduce our risk for things like Alzheimer's and dementia. So remember all of the benefits to moving our bodies more. In week 4, mindful eating, we discussed eating regularly and not skipping or going too long between meals and snacks. We want to reduce multitasking and be present with our meals, slowing down, chewing our food well, and enjoying all of the colors, textures, and flavors. Food is meant to be enjoyed, and it's one of the beautiful things about life, so being present with our meals. We can start out with smaller portions and then eating until we feel comfortably full and waiting about 15 minutes. And then if you still feel hungry after that 15 minutes, going back for seconds, maybe getting more protein and vegetables. We want to enjoy balanced meals and snacks, so trying to get at least 2 out of the 3 macronutrients at snack times, like protein and carbohydrate. And then at meal times, trying to get 3 out of the 3 macronutrients. We can combat our cravings by not going too long without eating, and then eating protein and higher fiber foods, drinking water and getting adequate fluid intake and staying hydrated. We can distract ourselves, we can brush our teeth, reducing temptation by keeping those higher sugary foods out of the house and using them more as the occasional treat to enjoy. We can work on stress management and not using food to cope with stress or other emotions, and then using hobbies like crafts and puzzles while watching a show instead of snacking. In week 5, dining out and nutrition labels, we discussed aiming for balanced meals and including at least 3 colors at our meal. We want to have a colorful diet overall with a variety of foods, including fruits and vegetables, as this is best for our overall health. When dining out, we can skip the appetizers, be mindful of the amount of bread or chips we're consuming prior to our main dish. We can split an entree or pack half of it up for later. Savor a salad and consider the dressing on the side. We can double up on our veggies and then enjoy water or unsweetened teas or other beverages and limit drinking our calories. We want to practice mindful eating while we're dining out as well by eating slowly and enjoying our meal and then deciding if we want dessert or if we feel comfortably full, we can skip dessert. We can also share a dessert with a group of friends or a partner. Many restaurants have their nutrition information in the store or online to help you make your nutrition and meal decisions. We can review labels when shopping or using store apps and looking at the product's serving size, calories, type of fat. Is it a good source of fiber? Is it high in sodium? And then looking for added sugars in the product. We want to choose products, again, that have a limited number of ingredients. In week 6, barriers and bridges, we discussed having self-compassion and being flexible with our health practices. Life happens and we are not striving for perfection, but doing our best to eat healthy and moving our bodies more most days if it allows. So instead of seeing failures as mistakes, take them as life lessons learned. And remember, it's never too late to start again and get back on track. Remember your overall vision for yourself, setting a few attainable and measurable SMART goals, and then visualizing where you see yourself accomplishing those goals and how you feel. We can create a vision board of goals that can help us stay motivated, having positive affirmations to remind ourselves that we are worthy of good things, including health, happiness, and having confidence in yourself to make those positive changes. So make a plan, set priorities, and know that it's okay to say no to some commitments or invitations to put your health goals first. These changes are important, and when we take care of ourselves, we are able to take care of those around us as well. To assess our diets and nutrition, we can consider food tracking or journaling short term. This can help us see the overall picture of our nutrition and exercise. We can look at it and decide, are we getting enough fluid? Are we eating enough fruits and vegetables? Maybe we're eating larger portions or getting too much sugar or sodium, or we're not getting enough protein and fiber. Make health enjoyable, including nutrient-dense foods that you enjoy, thinking of ways to make them more flavorful and enjoyable, and choosing activities that you enjoy and can stick with. Having support is also important, so talking with a spouse, friend, or those around you about the changes that are important to you and that you want to make. Making changes together as a couple or family can also support a healthy household. And don't forget to celebrate your successes. You may need some trial and error to find the things that fit you best, but give it time and acknowledge your effort and work. Reward yourself with non-food rewards. Again, if you get off track, get back up and keep moving forward and just keep swimming. In week 7, we discussed meal planning. So start by finding the meals that you and your family like, and then assessing ways to make them healthier if needed by adding in things like more vegetables. Find your staple recipes and then being open to trying maybe some new recipes. You can plan meals around vegetables, increasing your plant protein intake, which is lower in fat and higher in fiber. We can try things like meatless Mondays or meatless at least one time per week, and then trying other themed days throughout the week as well. Be practical with your schedule, abilities, and budget. Maybe start with planning 2 to 3 meals and a couple snacks, and then building from there. Remember that vegetables don't always have to be a side on our plate, but we can enjoy them by adding them into other foods and making them more appealing and flavorful, especially if you have picky eaters in your household. With kids that are picky, keep offering a variety of foods at meal times and encourage these without forcing. We want to model healthy practices by eating fruits and vegetables, and then allowing kids to pick out healthy foods at the store that they would like to try, or allowing them to help prepare some of these foods in the kitchen, which makes them more open to trying the dishes that they've helped prepare. Also, consider different ways of preparing foods like steaming, roasting, or grilling to increase flavor. For meal planning, we can use meal planning apps or AI to help. There are also meal delivery services that can help supplement some days. The steps for meal planning include starting with meals that you like and how can you make these healthier if needed. Plan 2 to 3 meals to start, maybe a couple snacks. Make your grocery list. You can use store apps to do this. Do an inventory and then stick to your list at the store and then don't shop hungry. We can utilize frozen fruits and vegetables, canned items, bulk items, and pre-chopped items to save money and reduce production time. In week 8, grocery shopping tips, we discussed being open to trying new foods or a food that you haven't had in a while. So maybe there's a vegetable you thought you didn't like, but maybe prepared in a different way, you might find you enjoy it. So remember the different techniques for food preparation and different equipment to bake, grill, roast, slow cook, and steam. Go to the store with a plan and stick to your list. You can utilize store apps to shop, find deals and specials and coupons, do pickup, and read nutrition labels. Don't shop hungry, as this increases impulse purchases. Try to keep higher sugary foods like desserts, snacks like chips and pretzels out of the house, and include these on occasions or as a special treat. Make going out for a treat a special occasion too. This helps to enjoy those treat foods by not having them in the house every day. Healthy food does not have to be expensive. We can utilize canned and frozen or bulk items, store brand items, about to expire items, lower shelf items, rewards programs, shopping in season for produce, utilizing vegetable stands. We can also freeze food to prevent food waste and to help save money on groceries. We can shop the perimeter of the store for the most part, but then looking for those healthy options in the inner aisles, like your canned and frozen vegetables and whole grains. In week 9, we brought you a variety of cooking demos with different meals to make, including breakfast tacos, sauces, and a Mediterranean salad. Consider recipes like crock pot meals, plant-based recipes, sheet pan dinners, bento box ideas for lunches, and 5 ingredients or less dinners to simplify your meals. A healthy meal or snack does not need to be complex or a lot of preparation or production. Remember to bulk up your plate with vegetables. These are some of the most nutrient-dense foods that are the lowest in calorie and also provide fiber. Try to make half of your plate, 50% of your plate, those vegetables. And we can also add them into other dishes like soups, stews, chilies, tacos, fajitas, sandwiches, eggs, stir fries, and sauces. So let's take a minute and acknowledge the effort and progress that you've made over the last 10 weeks. You've reached the last class of the Momentum program, so I hope that you celebrate yourself. You've been working on goals and habits with diet and exercise to improve and maintain your health. Changes and establishing new and healthy practices are not easy, especially when balancing everything else in life. So remember to be proud of yourself and the steps you've taken to live a healthier lifestyle. So take a minute and think about the changes you've been working on and reflect on your accomplishments. Remember to celebrate even the small wins and progress. In the beginning, healthy changes might take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Anticipating those backward steps can make all the difference in the world. So develop a plan for getting back on track and recommitting to your routine as quickly as possible. This helps you get back on track and to meet your long-term health goals. Find changes that you are okay sticking to for life and most days of the week. So eating healthy food shouldn't be viewed as short-term punishment or a diet. Typically, when people go on a strict, sometimes restrictive diet, we eventually stop and then go back to the way we were eating before and to old habits and behaviors. This can lead to gaining weight back and sometimes even more weight. So get off that yo-yo dieting roller coaster and work on what is enjoyable, sustainable, and good for your health and well-being. Health is a practice and a lifelong commitment. If you want to reach your goals and maintain the results long-term, don't view weight loss and dieting as a temporary fix. Build solid systems during this weight loss journey to move from a period of calorie deficit to maintenance. If you have those solid systems then in place, you're able to maintain your new body weight, your hard work, while still enjoying some balance. So be patient on this journey because it is a lifelong transformation. Focus on each choice as it comes to you and the present moment. Find changes that you are devoted to making for life. And remember, changes will get easier with practice and with time. Revisit how far you've come and think about where you want to go from here. Anytime you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, you can lean on the basics. So it's important to first master the basics and then figure out the details. If your goals aren't going perfectly, you can get back to a starting point, back to the basics that you can rely on. So sometimes we can get caught up in striving for perfection, only this many calories, this many minutes of minimum exercise. Remember, these are guidelines, but we don't need to be perfect. So if you're feeling bogged down or like you aren't meeting your goals, then start again with your basics. Start with eating more plants, drinking plenty of water, moving your body more, and then progressing your goals over time. Master the basics first before adding more to your plate. Schedule and prioritize your new healthful habits into your life, and then they become automatic. Making consistent progress towards goals can lead to big wins and meeting your overall vision. So stick to your goals, even if it is a smaller, bite-sized version. It's not the individual impact of missing your schedule that's a big deal. It's the cumulative impact of never getting back on track. Don't have enough time to do a full workout, do some squats. Don't have enough time to write an article, write a paragraph. Don't have enough time to do a full yoga class, take a few minutes to breathe. Don't have enough time to go on a full vacation, give yourself a mini break and drive to a neighboring town. Individually, these behaviors seem pretty insignificant, but it's not the individual impact that makes a difference. It's the cumulative impact of always sticking to your schedule that will carry you to long-term success. So find a way to stick to your schedule no matter how small it is. Tracking habits like nutrition, fluid intake, and exercise works well for some people to stay on track. If you find tracking to be overwhelming or one additional thing you need to do, then consider it short-term just to assess your habits. It's like doing homework on ourselves to look at our calories, portion sizes, fiber, sodium, sugar intake, and if we're getting enough fluid, tracking our steps and exercise. There are many apps you can use or journaling your habits in a notebook short-term, and this can be helpful to meet our goals, assess our habits, and for accountability. It helps us look at our diet, fluid intake, and exercise, and then adjust from there. Another approach for accountability is asking a partner to make changes with you. This could be a friend, coworker, or spouse where you make goals with improving nutrition or exercise together to help you stay on track and to support each other. Other support people include dietitians, support groups, therapists, or a health coach to help you adjust your goals, make changes, and to stay on track. There are also online communities for support and accountability. Being accountable to an external source can help many people be more successful in the long term. So we want to get out of the all or nothing 100% perfection mentality. So an example could be, I really want to follow a Mediterranean diet, but I go out with friends every Friday and I always have ice cream and wine on Wednesdays with my book club. So maybe I should follow something else. Remember, eating healthfully 5 out of the 7 days per week is better than not eating healthfully at all. Just because we can't stick to an optimal schedule doesn't mean we shouldn't stick to it at all. Good habits are built gradually, so start slow, live your life, and get better along the way. Progress is also a spectrum, not a specific place. We can practice the 90-10 or 80-20 rules, live our life, enjoy healthy foods 80 to 90% of the time, while giving ourselves a break to enjoy a treat 10 to 20% of the time. Treats are okay. It's the habits that get in the way of our goals that become a problem. Let's say going to Starbucks or Dutch Brothers every day or more than once a week. So remember to make treats special, not an everyday occurrence. Treats also lose their pizzazz if we consume them every day too. So let's review the new habit loop. We want to change our triggers. For example, if we struggle with needing a higher calorie coffee every day, we can change our route to work so that coffee shop isn't along the way. The food environment and making positive changes to that environment can help support practicing healthy habits. A negative environment can make it more difficult to practice healthy habits, which is why it can be harder to stick to new behaviors even if we really want to make a change. An example of this could be a coworker or spouse that constantly buys donuts or baked goods, so these foods are always available, tempting, and not the occasional treat. So how do we overcome this? Maybe avoid the area or break room where these items are available. Often the actions we take are simply responses to the way things are organized around us. The basic idea is that whatever is visible is most likely to take place. Make the positive nutrition and exercise practices visible. Put these in a location where you won't forget when it comes time to do it. This could be like lying out your workout clothes or taking them with you in your car to motivate you to go to the gym, or always having a water bottle with you. Another example is having healthy foods and snacks on hand and keeping higher sugary or carbohydrate foods out of the house. Going out for ice cream for a special occasion or treat compared to having it every night or in the house. Even changing your route to work so you don't drive past that fast food restaurant or coffee shop. So design your environment to make the reminders of your healthy habits more visible and the reminders of your unhealthy habits less visible. This simple strategy makes changes easier and is a quick way to tailor your environment to support your healthy goals. And remember the reward habit pathway. Find ways to offer yourself continued non-food rewards. If you normally buy coffee every morning, pay yourself for every coffee you don't buy and save up for a reward like a vacation, massage, movie, spa day, clothing item, a new book, or toy. Remember that every little success is one step towards your larger goals, and that is worth celebrating. The ability to start new behaviors, practicing, and being consistent are critical steps for achieving long-term success. Breaking old habits can be challenging, but believe in yourself because you can do this. It's normal to have some nervousness or fear around making changes or starting something new, but I encourage you to be brave and to take the leap if you're hesitant. I promise you will look back and realize how far you've come if you are willing to take the chance. And also, when you leap, it helps build your confidence and self-esteem to make future positive changes. Everyone has to start somewhere, and those that have mastered something realize that it takes practice. And remember, dietitians are here to encourage and help and support you to make these changes if needed. So be willing to try something new, even if it feels uncomfortable. Once you have mastered the basics, then you can start your next great habit. So our weekly focus is to take a minute and think about what you've done so far and celebrate it. And then think about what are your next priorities after the Momentum program ends. So consider your next goals and how you will proceed to succeed. So just a reminder that dietitians are here to support you. We can help you make changes with your nutrition and exercise that are individualized to meet your personal needs, schedules, and preferences. We offer one-to-one visits, virtually, in person, or by telephone. So congratulations on completing the Momentum program. We hope that you celebrate yourself for making it through the last 10 weeks. Your health journey continues. Thank you for being on this journey with us. We hope that this has been educational, positive, and provided you with additional information to build on your knowledge to make healthy changes and to live your healthiest life possible.